Greetings, everyone. Greetings. I am your lovely hostess with the mostest, Ados, the Soul Star, and welcome back to Free Your Mind with the Soul Star, the podcast. This is the podcast where it's okay to be yourself completely. There's no judgment here, just motivation, meditation, and commentary. Now, this is also where we are able to free our minds unapologetically. Be sure to connect with me at Ados the Soul Star on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Today's topic is all about boundaries, y'all. That's right, boundaries, ladies and gentlemen. But first, it's time for the meditation moment. I don't want to waste too much time this week. I hope everyone is in a wonderful mood. I hope y'all are excited because it's the weekend. Well, I'm not sure when you're listening to this, but right now it's the weekend for me. It's Friday. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get into the meditation moment because I feel like somebody needs this right now. I feel like that's why you tuned in, because you need that meditation moment, and I'm here to give it to you. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Yes, indeed. Our meditation quote simply says, while meditating, we are simply seeing what the mind has been doing all along. And that is by Alan Locos. Again, while meditating, we are simply seeing what the mind has been doing all along. I want you all to take a deep breath with me, if that's all right. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. Positive energy in. And negative energy out. Oh my gosh, y'all, that felt good. One more time, deep breath in. And out. If you're anything like me, you have lots going on in your head all the time. The best thing about meditation is taking time to be still and allowing your thoughts to simply be. So, my advice, take about 10 minutes or so every day and just be still and focus on your breaths. Now, the best times are usually in the morning before work or at night before bed, but whenever you can find the time, I encourage you to sort out the things in your life simply by being still and being in the moment. I'm Ados the Soul Star, and I'm challenging you to vibrate higher. Yeah. Oh yeah. I am so glad to be back, y'all. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to the show. Shout out to everyone who has reached out to me ever since the first episode and just gave me love. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. And I really hope that you've gotten something from that show and that you got something from our meditation today as well. Meditation is so important. And as I explained last week, it has really changed my life for the better. Now, tonight we're talking about setting boundaries. Oh, man. This is a good topic, y'all, because let's just get into it because I don't want to waste too much time. So today's topic is setting boundaries. Now, when I tell y'all the last few years have really been eye-opening for me, I mean, I mentioned on the last episode that I'd gone through my spiritual awakening, and learning to set boundaries was part of that. Now, I couldn't understand why several of those who I thought I was closest to were becoming estranged one by one. It's like everyone was letting me know how they really felt, and I realized that none of them really knew me. And it was like waking up and realizing that those individuals had been strangers the entire time. What's going on, I wondered. Why so much resistance, and why was everything my fault all of a sudden? I then learned about narcissistic abuse, including gaslighting and boundaries. My God. These are all like heavy hitting terms. Narcissistic abuse, gaslighting, and of course, boundaries, what we're talking about tonight. Now, these topics that I just mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and reserve those for future episodes. So don't y'all worry. We're going to come right back around to narcissistic abuse and gaslighting. But I will be going deeper into those subjects again at another time. However, tonight we are talking boundaries, and I found a pretty kick-ass article to help me out today. So that article is simply called How to Set Boundaries, 5 Ways to Draw the Line Politely. And this is by author or the writer Logan Haley. So shout out to Logan for this one, y'all, because this is on point. Before we get into it, I want to go ahead and take a quick break and pay some bills. But when I get back, I'm going to go over these 5 tips, these 5 ways that you can draw the line politely. And Lord knows, this was some good stuff. I needed it, and I know somebody out there needs it. So don't go nowhere. I will be right back after these messages. You dig? Introducing Creative Juice, a premium craft cocktail that comes in 4 awesome flavors. Created by the curvy mixologist herself, get yours in 12 or 16 ounces. Right now, get $3 off 12 ounces and $2 off 16 ounces when you order online. Want a variety? Order a fun pack. Live in Dallas-Fort Worth? Select delivery at checkout. Visit drinkcreativejuice.com and place your order today. Creative Juice. Let your creative juices flow. Yeah. Creative juice. Let your creative juices flow, y'all. But so back to the topic at hand, guys. I don't want to waste too much time. I really want to get to this because this is such a great article that I found. So 5 ways to draw the line politely. How to set boundaries. Y'all ready? Ready for it? Here you go. Want to hear? Here you go. All right. So number 1, visualize and name your limits. Ooh. So the first and most important step to defining your boundaries is to make them concrete. Boundaries are often confusing and abstract because they feel invisible in our daily lives. However, by visualizing your boundaries and writing them down, you can get much more clarity on where you want to draw the line between you and other people. Okay? So what the author is saying here is you want to set aside some time to reflect the state of your life. So you want to ask yourself a few questions. What is causing me unnecessary stress or discomfort? What do I look forward to each day versus what do I dread? Who or what gives me energy? What areas of my life do I feel exhausted by? What makes me feel safe, supported, and valued? So write down your limits. Ask yourself these questions and figure out, okay, listen, I need to figure out what my boundaries are. So let me visualize them and let me figure out what it is. So you visualize your boundaries and you write them down, you're going to get a lot more clarity on where you want to draw the line. So I wanted to repeat that because to me, that was important. All right. So number two, openly communicate your boundaries. So one of the biggest mistakes that people make is setting boundaries in their mind, but not openly sharing them with people in their life. How many of you guys are guilty? I'm gonna hit the bell because I'm guilty of that. Big time, big time. We'll have in our minds what those boundaries are, but we're not communicating them with others. I know for me, and I can speak for myself, I've always been non-confrontational. And yes, that's cool, because obviously you're not the one starting mess or you're not in the middle of any drama. However, it's not necessarily the best way to be. And I say that because, there's things that need to be said oftentimes, when it comes to us setting boundaries. So if we're not setting those boundaries, if we're not telling people what our boundaries are, how can we expect them to respect it? So sometimes people assume that, you should know their boundaries, but if they didn't clearly communicate where they've drawn the line, then how will you know when you've overstepped it? And that's something that I had to realize, like, hey, you're holding on to, what these people have done to you. They cross lines, because I'm going to tell you, people have been habitual line steppers since I can recall. But I had to learn that due to my childhood trauma, that's just, something that I've grown accustomed to. People just saying any and whatever they want to me, and I'm not fighting back. And I'm not having my own back, and I'm not standing up for myself. So if you are like that, or if you've ever been that way, now is the time to just move forward, going forward from this day forward, and deciding that you're going to openly communicate with people what your boundaries are. I know I made that decision, and I'm telling you, I'm not looking back. I'm sure a few people were have been surprised by my boundaries lately, but honestly, I don't care. I'm going to be polite. I'm going to be kind, but I'm going to express, hey, that's a boundary. Now, this can seem daunting, but it can feel like a significant release once you get it out of the way. A social psychology researcher by the name of Brené Brown says, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. So once you know your boundaries, you have to communicate them. Take a deep breath, gather your resolve, and assertively express your needs in a kind and direct way. So here are a few examples. So let's talk about a time boundary. I can only stay for an hour, or if you're going to be late, please let me know. An energy boundary. I don't have the energy to help you with whatever your request is right now, but maybe this resource can help. Emotional dumping. Y'all know what emotional dumping is. You can say, I understand you're having a hard time and I want to be there for you, but I don't have the emotional capacity to listen right now. So these are just examples. But we've got to get to a point where we are comfortable setting these boundaries, and we can't feel bad for it. You got to have your boundaries, guys. You got to make sure your mental health is your number one priority. Okay, so moving on to number 3. Reiterate and uphold your boundaries. So, like the invisible perimeter fence around a yard protects a dog from running into the street, boundaries protect you from overextending your mental and emotional well-being. But the dog has to be trained not to cross that line. They have to understand where their yard begins and ends. It takes time, repetition, and patience. Well, the same is true of human boundaries. Not everyone will understand or respect your boundaries the first time. It's essential to stand firm in your decision while kindly reminding them of your needs when necessary. A dog will get confused if the yard ends at the bushes one day but extends to the sidewalk the next. If someone doesn't initially respect your boundary, remind them, but stay consistent with your original decision. Now, next tip. Don't be afraid to say no. I love this one, y'all. This is a good one. Because honestly, I've been there so many times. I'm so glad for deliverance. I'm no longer afraid to say no. And hey, that's a boundary. Now, have you ever met someone who seemed to say yes to everything? People afraid to say no often end up with an overflowing plate of duties and responsibilities that they can't seem to keep up with. They tend to forego self-care as they frantically try to meet these demands of all these people and things they said yes to. No is a powerful word. It sounds strikingly similar in dozens of languages and can be recognized by simple gestures or facial expressions. Yet so many people in the modern day have been programmed to feel guilty for their no's. In reality, to say no is to draw the line in the sand. It is an expression of courage, self-love, and sovereignty over your daily decisions. And again, I was that person who was afraid to say no. And I'm just so glad I'm no longer a people pleaser. Like, no, I got stuff to do. It's okay to say no. And to any of my friends, loved ones, it's okay if you tell me no. I respect your boundaries. And I ask that you do the same for me. All right, now take time for yourself. And this is the last one. This is number 5. Now, amidst our fast-moving world, self-care can feel selfish and even frivolous. But the science of self-care is clear. Taking alone time for yourself is linked to more confidence, greater creativity, more emotional intelligence, and more emotional stability in challenging situations. It can even help with burnout. So I would say I really like this action tip that they provided here in this article. So for the next month, try to set aside a solid 2-hour block of time on your calendar each week specifically for me time. Let your close family and friends know that you won't be available during this time. Whether you're cooking a healthy meal for yourself, getting outside, taking a rest day, hitting the yoga studio, or lounging on the beach with a good book, if you're near a beach, creating time for yourself is crucial for healthier boundaries. And you guys, I've got to tell you, me time is my favorite thing in the world, probably. Like, I know I have a lot of favorite things, but this me time is everything. And I'm so grateful. The amount of me time that I've been allowed to have is just nothing short of a blessing. So whenever you guys have some time to yourself, be sure to do that every week. At least 2 hours out of the week that you can set aside that's just strictly me time. Just either pamper yourself, like the different examples that they provided here, in their tip. Getting outside, going to the beach with a good book, or just reading a book wherever, on your patio or something. Hitting the yoga studio, going for a walk, taking a rest day, preparing a healthy meal for yourself. Exercise is paramount, definitely, when it comes to self-care. Got to keep your body right. And the more you work out, the more you're releasing those endorphins that make you happy. So, and put you in a good mood. So I hope that this article helped you all. The 5 ways to draw the line politely, how to set boundaries. I'm saying it backwards, but y'all know what I mean. How to set boundaries, 5 ways to draw the line politely. Shout out to Logan Haley for this amazing article. I feel like I learned a lot from that. I hope you guys learned from it as well. If you have anything that you would like to say to me, then, any, I wouldn't say suggestions, but if you have suggestions, sure. But honestly, if you just have any testimonies that you would like to share and you want me to mention you on the show, I can definitely do that. So also, I want to know, have you ever meditated? Are you consistent? Has it helped you at all? If so, let me know. info@cmsmusicgroup.com is my email. Or, of course, you guys can DM me directly at ADAS the Soul Star, EDAS the Soul Star on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. This has been a lovely time, guys. I really enjoyed myself talking about setting boundaries and also meditating with you all. I hope you really enjoyed it and got something from it. And I'm looking forward to our next episode. So please stay tuned. And I will continue to provide all of the insight that I can, all of the meditation moments that I can to help you unwind, to motivate you, to inspire you, to get to your greatest and best self. Until next time, I'm ADOS the Soul Star. And I'm challenging you to vibrate higher, guys. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Hey fam, ADOS the Soul Star here, artist and president of Creative Mind Society Music Group. We are a grassroots organization on a mission to help artists and creatives achieve their dreams through publishing, education, promotion, and digital content. Want to support? Become a patron today. There are 3 awesome tiers to choose from, starting at just $5 a month. That's right, $5 a month. If you sign up today, you're going to receive goodies like access to exclusive content, 15 to 25% off our entire store, plus free merch. That's right, y'all, free merch. We thank you in advance, and we will continue to do the work to positively affect our communities. And remember, dreams come true, but we must do the work. Learn more at cmsmusicgroup.com.